We heard from a friend recently who's having trouble getting her brother knitting machine to select needles. There are a number of reasons such a thing could occur, but one common one, and one we believe is happening to her, is difficulty with the KC setting. So today Jack will show you how to troubleshoot that.
All right, buttons off. You can stick the button on just about any way you want to, as long as the teeth line up with the gear right here. This is the rack and this is the pinion. So this is your rack and pinion steering, but you can put it on in any direction. Here's what I do when I've got it off and I want to make sure it's right. I go all the way to the clockwise position. Now, where should it be pointing? It should be pointing right there. So I pick it up and I turn it till it's in the teeth, and it is pointing to my CR. Now, SM, KC, N.
So what you're saying is, when you're disassembling and reassembling, it's possible to get that button on wrong, and then it won't really tell you where it is oriented.
That's right. And what we have is a friend with a KC problem. So what we want to do is go over to KC, show you what goes on with the cover off so you can see it. But this is how I always line it up, is in the CR position.
Carriage release.
Carriage release. And that's, if you were working with the carriage, that would be as far counterclockwise as you can go. Clockwise back to the end. You can start with N, but I like to get my rail all the way to one side. You can see it can't go any further than right there. And in the carriage release position is when this bar comes in, and all of you know those are your guides for the timing belt right there. And now they're out of the way. That's why it's carriage release. So
it releases the carriage from the timing belt slots. Is that correct?
Yes. SM, KC. Now you notice SM, and the only thing that's moving is right here, KC. This area stays the same. So you locked into your timing belt. You've got your back rail to guide it.
And if for some reason that didn't happen, that you were on KC, but the lock didn't respond, then that's one thing that could go wrong with KC not resulting in patterning.
All right, now, SM, I'm going to get you to zoom in right here with your eyes and watch this post. That's SM. Same thing.
We wanted you to see it closer than the other camera
lowered
can get.
Position, elevated position. Now that means underneath here something's going on. So see that? This is what's going on when that change takes place. SM, KC. SM, watch this flipper, KC. This is your path. SM, there's your path, right through there. KC, look what happens to your path. It goes this way. So now the needle butt's getting depressed when it goes across this riser. So that's your SM position. And there's your KC position. And you'll notice there's also a little gate here that comes down to make sure the needle butts are going that way. So either this gate lock or this lever, if either one on either side don't work correctly, then the path is not completely changed between your SM this way and your KC this way. So this is what you're looking for.
Then so that would result, if I'm right, in you seeing that you have put your knob to KC, and yet you don't get the pattern selection you expect, or you get none whatsoever, or you get a jam, depending on what exactly went wrong.
But now I'm in SM now, and you can see, look, these guys are spring loaded. They can move independently of what else you're doing. And so if you go to KC, and there's something wrong with the spring loads here. See, that one's still spring loaded, but it's letting the needle butt come this way and stopping it so that it's taking this path, but it's spring loaded. What happens if it sticks in that position? Then you're NKC on the knob, but the needle path has not changed because this gate didn't come out to stop it.
Would it be correct to say that we found that 90 or more % of the time, the problem is simply cleanliness? Although the surface may look fine, you've got stiff action, maybe there's old grease, maybe it's just dry down inside. 10% or less of the time, there is actually a spring that has been damaged or lost. Is that about right?
I've only ever seen in all the carriages that I've done one broken spring. That's it, one. I've seen them off. They'll come off. And what'll break is this end right here where it's looped through this hole.
It's a tiny little thing.
Or this end. But the thing is, what normally it is the fact that these are not super strong springs. You can see the bounce right here of changing positions. Now it's changed positions, but see those little springs, if any corrosion gets in here where this slide is moving, the spring's not going to overcome greasy, dingy buildup, which is what we call it. It's just not going to. So you need to be familiar with what's going to happen, and you can see the different movements taking place right there. There's a post that's moving a flipper. Here's a post that's moving a flipper. This is a post we just talked about that's moving a flipper. So these things, they have to be super, super smooth, which the deep soak for a really dirty carriage, or just take the cover off and silicone it all in through there till everything moves very smoothly and easily.
Well, one way or another, it needs to move not only into position, but do it quickly with enthusiasm.
That's right. It needs to, you know, how many needles do you have in work? You could have 50 needles in work?
Oh, you might have 110 on a bulky machine if you're making a blanket.
So 110 needle butts have to get out of the next guy's way. And it's not going to do it unless all of these spring loads are really, really smooth. You got to hear them click.